What's happening, folks? Mulo Motivation reactions. Today, we're going to be reacting to. So Disney introduced the first plus size character, and today's topic is body dysmorphia and body positivity. It's a very important thing to talk about because I'm a coach, and we live in the age of social media, and a lot of things can create body dysmorphic issues. So we're gonna watch the video. I'll pause it every now and then when things come to my mind, and we'll talk. So if you're coming back to the channel, thank you very much for your support. If you're back, or if you're coming here for the first time, hit that subscribe button. Stay tuned for more videos. Let's get it.
Character in a move that has delighted fans.
The short film is titled Reflect and is one of the episodes from Season 2 Short Circuit. The episode puts a spotlight on Bianca, a young ballet dancer struggling with her own confidence as well as body dysmorphia.
The only thing I see wrong with that is you're inviting more people to have health issues as they age. I hate to say that, but it's the truth. It's the truth. We can say things about being big boned. We could say things about being born a certain size. Those things are valid, yes. But having a healthy lifestyle, having good habits, if those things are present, you will not have more body weight. You won't. You won't. Some people are naturally bigger. Some people take longer to lose body weight, hold on to more body fat, things as such. But if it gets to a certain stage where obesity is a thing to call body positivity, it becomes an unhealthy thing for the future generation. Especially if you're a lady, it puts your kid in jeopardy if your plan is to get kids at some point. It doesn't just put your kid in jeopardy as far as health, but think about how you're being treated also. Because I'll tell you this, you're not treated well. And for a kid to suffer through that because of the decision of the parent, it's not fair. You know what I'm saying? And how this would transfer over to the opposite. People taking drugs. People doing extra things just to be like this. That's also wrong in my opinion. There's a two extremes. Being so jacked that your stomach is like this with abs on it, with veins everywhere. To me, I don't agree with that. Being this thin to the point you're anorexic, no. And being not a healthy body composition, putting yourself at risk health-wise, putting your children's risk if you plan to have kids. You know what I'm saying? So it's a deeper thing. It's a deeper insecurity that you need people supportive around you to help you through it. Right? To some degree, people that do fitness have body dysmorphic issues. The body dysmorphic issues and the body positivity can go hand in hand. And then not just women that face it, men face it too. But the thing with men is we're not that important to society. Right? What men feel, society doesn't care. You know, that's why male suicidal rates are so high, but it's never talked about. That's why as a guy, you're not encouraged to talk about how you feel, because quite frankly, no one cares. Right? So there's a multitude of issues all over that cause you to feel like being a certain body composition is acceptable for your health, right? And we gotta think health, long-term health, not just how I feel now. You know what I mean? And we can add that to many things. You don't do drugs, you don't drink alcohol, all that stuff, because long-term is not a good thing. Even though it's something that feels good now, it's not a good thing long-term. Right? So we gotta think more about what's gonna happen in 10 years, what's gonna happen in 20 years, instead of how I feel now. You know what I'm saying? And I hold myself accountable too. Like, I can't want to look like the next person, or I can't do certain things because I just feel like it. You know what I mean? And that's what it's that's what it's called to be self-aware. Right? Anyway, let's continue. I talk quite a bit there, but it's a very important topic that in some ways it's avoided, and people are scared to talk about it because they're scared to offend people. But I believe if you say things the right way, you hit somebody the way they need to be hit with the truth. You know, there's ways to do things. If you're spreading knowledge in the wrong way, people will resent it and reject it. You know, but this is such an important topic that delivery is even more important. So anyway, let's keep going.
In the company's 85 years history of making movies,
Plus-size characters have only ever been featured in roles of villains or extras, with fans praising the change. Disney fans have long called on the corporation to create plus-size princesses in 2015 that showed Disney characters given plus-size makeovers going viral.
The only thing I don't like about it is it's almost like it's a push to make it mainstream. You're essentially causing the problem on the other end. What about the people that are like this? What about them? If you're gonna do that, why not do it for everything? And this is one thing no one really talks about in a lot of the shows. Why are the black characters all dying first? Why is there not as much black superheroes, for example? Because if you're doing this, you have to think about everything else. You know what I mean? We live in such a sensitive time that if you do one thing, it does affect the other. If you're willing to make something like this go mainstream, what about the rest? What about the rest? It's going to create more issues, more dysmorphic issues. Someone healthy is going to look at themselves and say, man, I don't feel good about myself because everything around me says I should be plus sized. All right, it's a deeper issue, folks. It's a deeper issue, and I don't know who's listening right now, but I don't know if you can see the dangers in this. Like, it puts everybody at risk, especially if it's first of all, if it's a lady, you're putting your kid at risk, like I said before. And why is it such a hard thing to talk about? Why? You know how many women die during the giving birth? So imagine if you're not like fit and you're giving birth to a child and you don't make it. The child doesn't make it. So that's two people. That's two people in the same place not making it because of bad life choices. Right? I'm not body or fat shaming anything or anybody. I'm talking about health here. I'm talking about health. In most cases, when you don't have a healthy body composition, you're more at risk to diabetes, heart problems. Those two things are directly correlated to a lot of issues in the future. Have trouble breathing. You have trouble keeping off body fat, which is going to age you faster, which is going to make it harder for you to do everyday activities. It's not just about like an image that the media is trying to push, but also, anyway, let's keep going.
I'm talking way too much.
Last year, Disney was accused of pushing unrealistic beauty standards on children after including a character with exaggerated proportions in.
And it's gonna go the opposite way though. It's gonna go the opposite way. What about the people that don't want to be over? What about the people that don't want to be plus size? What about them? What about the people that don't want to have muscle? Because there's people like that too. What about the people like this? What about the people like this? What about the people with muscle? What about the short people, the tall people? What about that? Nobody talks about that. When it comes to male, for example, a big thing is, oh, you have to be 6 feet tall. The average height on Earth is 5'7". How do you think you make the guys feel that are not 6 feet saying that? You hear a lot, I want a guy to be this size downstairs. I don't want to be too graphic with it. How would the other guys feel that aren't that size? This person has to be a certain race. How do you think the people feel that aren't that race? Because we deal with body positivity, confidence, and body dysmorphic issues on all levels. It's not just about how much you weigh, but it's many different aspects that you cannot change. And that's the thing, a lot of the different aspects you cannot change. Alright? But with your body weight, you can change. No matter what I do, I cannot change how big my lips are, how my nose is, what my skin color looks like. I cannot change that. But if I weigh a bit more, I can do certain things to change it. And that's the difference. Body dysmorphic issue for guys, in many cases, they cannot change. We make fun for our height, for how big our thing is or little it is. And in many cases, race, skin color, all that stuff. Those are things with us forever. But when you bring up body weight, everyone wants to be offended. But here's the thing about that, that's the great news. It's changeable. It's changeable. So if you're going to cater to one group, you have to cater to the other group. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. And folks, think long term. What you're doing now that makes you feel good is not going to be something that helps you 10, 20 years from now. You got to think bigger. You got to think bigger. Think investments. Invest in your body. Invest in your health. Promoting this kind of thing, long term, it's maybe now it's good in the moment, but long term, it doesn't help you and your children, physically and mentally.
Workings. The animated short, which was initially released in 2016, tells the story of an office worker named Paul, who has to tame his desire to break out of his dull routine and have fun. But it's Paul's love interest, Kate, that has sparked outrage online.
I'm a melanated guy, okay? I like my women a bit curvy, right? So, I'm not saying that different sizes aren't appreciated. I am not saying that. I am saying the simple fact that if you're gonna promote obesity and things like that, just know the implications. Just know the implications. You gotta cater to every group, right? You cannot. It's almost like a push. I don't know who else senses it. It's almost like a push. If you're gonna push that, push striving to be your best, striving to be better, being self-confident. The things about it that I do like is being confident in your own skin. Yes, I do agree with that. Being happy with what you see, yes. But the thing that's missing is striving to be your best. Striving to be your best. Not just being satisfied with now, with this is it. Because everything around us improves and gets better. Everything or all the things around us were innovated and thought of. And we demand things to be created. How come we cannot do that with ourselves? How come we're willing to accept that's the standard and that's it? You know, we gotta just question everything. Everything.
Thanks to her enormous derriere, stick-thin arms, and tiny waist that is barely bigger than her neck. Dozens of social media users blasted the unrealistic deception of Kate's body after screenshots of the cartoon were shared
online by you.
And that's the thing too in the fitness, right? You got a lot of ladies with BBLs, and so there's different extremes to it. And this is one of the things that causes body dysmorphia issues amongst women even more. I feel bad for women, honestly, in this case. Like, it's just so sad to see. It's so sad to see. It's really, really sad to see. It shouldn't be that way. But when you open Instagram, you see someone prettier than you. You see someone more curvy than you. On the other end, you see the bigger girl that's confident in her own skin. That's, loves how she looks. And the girl that has a good physique is more insecure than the girl that's, you know what I mean? It's like, it's all over. It's all over. And the deeper rooted issue is self-esteem, self-love, self-appreciation. And not to the point is delusion too. Not to the point of delusion, not to the point you cannot look yourself and be honest. Right? Like look yourself in the mirror and say, okay, maybe I can do better than this. I shouldn't be 40% body fat. Know what I mean? Let's carry on.
US-based Twitter user Glitch, who shared them with the caption, "In no world did Disney need to do this." The post,
which included an image of Kate, sparked fresh criticism online, with users accusing Disney of setting unrealistic body standards for its young audiences. Reflect follows Bianca, a girl attending a ballet class who isn't like the rest of her classmates.
I feel bad, man. Like, what do we do? What do we do? What do we do? Like, what do we do? Know what I mean? How do we bring up people that don't feel good about themselves? Seriously, that's where the issue stands. That's where the issue stands. To some degree, how she feels is how people of other race feel, if whether you want to believe it or not. We feel like that in some way, being different than the rest of the people. Not being able to get away with the same things. It's really true. It's really true. And privilege is invisible to the person that has it. Privilege is invisible to the person that has it. Advantages and things that help is invisible to the person that has it in a lot of cases. Yeah, anyway, let's keep going.
Bianca is a little bigger than the other members of her class.
And in the first moments of the short film, viewers will see she isn't comfortable with herself. The teacher in the room lines up the students and demands they have a tight tummy and a long neck. Poor Bianca looks sadly into the mirror as she poses at the bar. But before long, everything changes for her and fans are lapping it up. Before long, a crack appears in her reflection on her ballet class's mirror wall, and she goes on a gorgeous animated routine of tackling.
I don't know what to say, man.
This is such a sensitive topic too. It's so sensitive. It's so sensitive. But how do you inspire and help people that feel terrible about themselves? Because I've been there, man. I've been there. Like, and I'm in the fitness industry, so it's impossible to meet any kind of beauty standards because it's all over. It's all over. And the thing I encourage a lot of you, anybody watching right now, is don't compare yourself to other people. You will never be like another person. I always say it, but no one wants to listen. You will never be like another person. You will never move the same way, talk the same way, have the same personality. You are a unique person, and be happy with that. Appreciate that. You know, it's yo. this is deep.
Those tough thoughts and
insecurities. House of the Mouse fans have been overwhelmed with the short, which promotes self-love and acceptance. Fans said on Twitter, 16-year-old me needed this Disney short before I quit ballet because I didn't want to be the fat girl in the class anymore. I'm glad little ones will have this. 10 out of 10.
The thing is, though, you can change that. You can change that. And honestly, it should be up to the parents to uplift your child. Inspire your child to want to be their best. Inspire your child to be secure in themselves, but understand that certain things are risky. Certain things aren't good for your health. Certain things may be harder for you. Certain things need to be done in order to be at peace with yourself in the future. Parents need to do a better job. Because if your kid was really confident in themselves, they wouldn't feel a certain way. You know what I mean? Or they wouldn't look a certain way. I know in many ways you're born a certain way. It'll be harder for you in many cases. But there's still things to do to avoid it. You know what I mean? If you're a bigger person, okay, but there's a difference between being bigger and being obese. And that's where the line is drawn. Right? I think parents should do a better job with their kids. You know, making the kids feel loved and appreciated. Honestly. I don't know. Because there's a lot of kids like her I know it's a Disney clip, but I know there's a lot of kids like that. That feel bad about themselves. And anyway, it's not just body weight. How look, many kids really feel bad about themselves because they're different somehow, and that's the thing. That's the thing, right? And even now, people are changing what they are. Like some people are amputating their arms because they feel bad to be normal, or they feel bad to have two arms, or some people are changing their gender because they don't feel like the gender they are right now is important. You know what I mean? So it's like we need to go to the root of the problem, not necessarily do drastic life changing decisions that we cannot undo later, right? But the good news with your body weight, you can change it. That's the thing. That's the thing. And this whole body dysmorphic issue, you know, it's a deep topic. It's quite a deep topic, and it's something that needs to be discussed more. Because a lot of people struggle with it. Not just people that are struggling to keep off body fat, but even people in better shape, or people that are smaller. You know, everybody deals with it in some degree, and social media amplified it big time.
For Reflect. Another agreed. This is not a drill. Disney Plus finally made a short with a plus-size lead. It's called Reflect, and it's part of the Short Circuit short series. Just let's say I was sobbing.
They should do both though. They should do it with her like that, right? And then they should do it. They should do it with every body type, every color, every height, every body weight, right? If you're gonna do it for one, do it for the other. Do it for the other too. Make kids appreciate differences. Differences. You only feel insecurity if you feel left out, if you feel different, right? If you're not somebody to directly see how being different is better, especially if you're younger. That's why parents have a big duty to just enable their kids to understand that. You know? Being different is not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing.
Fans on TikTok also added,
As someone who dealt with this and still deals with this, it's very comforting to finally see it being depicted.
It has positives and negatives. Some people will see it a lot, and it will make them think that, oh, it's not that it's not okay, but it's risky. It's risky. It's risky. Right? It's risky. You know? The lady in the clip, there's nothing, I wouldn't say she's unhealthy, but her feeling a certain way about how she looks, for example, like she can do things to change that though. That's the thing. It becomes a problem where you're born like it and there's nothing you can do about it. Like your height, your race, things like that you cannot do anything about. But body weight sensitive topics, you can do something about it. You can do something about it. You don't have to be morbidly obese. You don't have to be. You don't have to be. Because you can do something to change it. With the right guidance. With somebody that cares, that will hold your hand and be on your side. You know, that's the whole point. You know, I'm not here to say they're wrong, they're right. I'm just here to depict the root of the problem. And the ramifications of going down that path. You know, it's a long-term, what's the word I'm trying to use? It's a long-term risk. It's risky long-term. Risky long-term. Even for the skinnier person, not eating, purposely barfing out food because they want to remain like that also has negative ramifications in the future. Right? When it comes to body dysmorphia, this is how it comes about. You know, with things like this, some people may receive it the wrong way also, and go totally backwards to where they are. but also in the positive way, it makes people that deal with this issue feel accepted, feel appreciated and heard. So it has ups and downs. It just depends on the person receiving it, and that's the thing, right? And I just wanted to dive into it.
Another added,
I wish I'd seen this when I was younger, but so happy things are changing.
Yeah.
And that's why it has to be up to the parents. So just parent your kids, teach them pros, cons, why not. Not just tell them, do it because I'm your father, do it because I'm your mother. Really teach your child. Kids are more insecure than ever. Depression rates are high, obesity rates are high, suicide rates are high, social media rates are high. What they show on social media keeps that loop. The parents have a bigger duty now more than ever. Quite frankly, I would not want to be a parent at this point. To be honest, to be really honest, it's such a huge responsibility now. Huge. Not how it was before. You could actually parent your kid before. Now, man, God mercy. God have mercy.
Disney's new inspiring short for young women comes directly from Hilary Bradfield, the Disney animation story artist who has previously worked on Frozen 2, Encanto, and the Tango TV series. She is also part of the team storyboarding.
Anyway, we're gonna stop.
This is definitely a very important topic to not be afraid to talk about. Don't be afraid to talk about. We just need to understand the pros and cons and what it could do in the future. That's all. I'm getting all of you to think about long-term things, not just how it feels now. You know, if it starts there, how will it keep going? Like, what will be next? And if you're doing it for one group, what about the other group? Know what I mean? And that's what's the society now. If you're trying to accept one group, you're almost taking away the rights of the other in the process, and you're gonna cause more issues moving forward for the people that are deep thinkers. I'm speaking in code. But anyway, folks, I'm gonna end the video there. Thank you so much for coming back to my channel. Make sure to like, share, subscribe, stay tuned for more. God bless all of you. Have a great rest of your week.